Mason was a man weighed down, literally and figuratively. At 317 pounds, he struggled with his health and self-esteem, compounded by his wife Olivia's growing concern. Olivia, who had lost friends to heart attacks, was deeply worried about Mason's future. Over 2 years, Mason committed to a rigorous weight loss journey, shedding an astonishing 114 pounds. By the time he reached 203 pounds, he contemplated quitting. The sacrifices felt too immense, and his progress, though remarkable, seemed overshadowed by the grueling effort required. When Mason voiced his doubts about continuing, Olivia's response shocked him. She issued an ultimatum. If he quit, they would share intimate moments only 4 times a year, aligning with specific milestones: Valentine's Day, their anniversary, and their birthdays. She even hinted at seeking fulfillment elsewhere if her terms weren't met. The weight of Olivia's threat sent shockwaves through their marriage. Mason felt humiliated and betrayed. Her words planted seeds of suspicion that took root in his mind, unraveling years of trust. For Olivia, the gravity of her mistake became evident almost immediately. Her attempt to motivate Mason had backfired, leaving her scrambling to salvage their relationship as Mason wrestled with doubts and anger. Mason's world tilted after Olivia's ultimatum. Her words struck like a hammer, shattering the foundation of trust in their marriage. For 2 years, he had worked tirelessly to lose weight, not just for himself, but also for her, to be the husband she deserved. Yet her threat of withholding intimacy and suggesting infidelity wasn't just hurtful, it felt manipulative and cruel. Olivia quickly realized her mistake. As Mason stormed into the garage to process his thoughts, she broke down in tears. She replayed her words, horrified at the damage she had caused. Her greed and insensitivity had hurt the man she claimed to love, a man who had made tremendous sacrifices for her. In the garage, Mason sat in silence, his mind racing. He didn't believe Olivia had cheated during their marriage, but her threat made him question everything. What if there had been more to her distance during his weight loss journey? Was her affection genuine, or had she been harboring desires for someone else? These questions gnawed at him, and for the first time in years, Mason doubted Olivia's loyalty. When he returned to the house, Olivia was still at the kitchen table, her eyes red and swollen from crying. She apologized profusely, insisting she had never cheated and never intended to. But Mason couldn't shake the doubt. Her words had planted a seed of mistrust that now bloomed uncontrollably. He informed her that he was abandoning the diet and limiting their intimacy to the 4 times a year she had suggested. Or none at all. The decision would be hers. Olivia begged for forgiveness, but Mason remained resolute. He reminded her of the sacrifices he had made, the physical and emotional toll he endured, and the reward he had received in return: manipulation and humiliation. Before leaving for a drive, he warned Olivia of severe consequences if he ever discovered infidelity in their past or future. Mason spent hours wrestling with his thoughts. His love for Olivia was undeniable, but so was his pain. He decided he needed answers. He began his investigation by requesting call logs for their landline and Olivia's cell phone, which were under his name. Over the next few days, Mason pored through the data, organizing hundreds of calls by number, date, and time. 2 numbers stood out. One, in particular, appeared every Wednesday morning and Friday afternoon, the times when Mason attended work meetings or played golf. His suspicion deepened when he identified the owner of the number: Liam, his personal trainer at the gym, the same man Olivia had introduced to him 2 years earlier. Mason's worst fears crystallized as he analyzed the patterns. The calls to Liam started before Mason began his diet, but became frequent during his weight loss journey. It was clear Olivia had been meeting Liam for over 2 years, aligning their encounters with Mason's absences. The betrayal wasn't just emotional, it was systematic. Fueled by heartbreak and anger, Mason began devising a plan. He purchased surveillance equipment, bugged the home phone, Olivia's cell phone, and eventually Liam's phone. Through these methods, Mason confirmed Olivia's affair. Recorded conversations revealed her confessing to Liam that she had been drawn to him from their first encounter and had used Mason's weight loss journey as a cover for their secret meetings. Olivia admitted in one call that she felt guilty about Mason, but found it impossible to stop seeing Liam. She even discussed plans to meet on Fridays when Mason golfed, minimizing their interactions until Mason's suspicions waned. Mason listened to these recordings with a mix of rage and heartbreak, grappling with the depth of Olivia's betrayal. Mason's decision to confront Olivia was deliberate and calculated. He wanted her to face the consequences of her actions fully, and he planned an encounter that would leave no room for excuses or denials. On a sunny Saturday afternoon, he orchestrated a scene that would unravel the facade Olivia had maintained for years. While Olivia went about her day inside the house, 3 women, Sophia, Abigail, and Harper, sat by the pool. Each of them had been a part of Mason's recent journey, offering him encouragement and understanding during his most challenging moments. Now, they were unwitting symbols of the support and opportunities Mason could pursue once he severed ties with Olivia. The women lounged confidently, laughing and applying sunscreen, their carefree attitudes in stark contrast to Olivia's growing unease. When she stepped onto the patio and saw them, her discomfort was immediate. Their presence felt like an invasion, a subtle challenge to her role in Mason's life. Mason soon joined the group, his demeanor calm but resolute. He acknowledged the women with warmth before turning his attention to Olivia. What followed was a meticulously crafted revelation. Mason presented his findings, laying out evidence of Olivia's repeated betrayal. The timelines matched perfectly. Her calls to Liam coincided with Mason's work meetings and golf outings. The recordings of her conversations confirmed her intentions, exposing not just the affair, but the calculated way she had planned it. As Mason detailed the depth of her deception, Olivia's composure shattered. The weight of the evidence overwhelmed her, and she could no longer deny the truth. Tears streamed down her face as she realized there was no way to salvage the situation. For Mason, this moment was not just about exposing the betrayal. It was about reclaiming his dignity and putting an end to the manipulation that had undermined his sacrifices. As he concluded his account of her infidelity, the atmosphere was thick with finality. The women, though silent, were a poignant presence. Each represented a life beyond the wreckage of his marriage. Mason's resolve was clear, and Olivia could feel the shift. Her tears and unspoken pleas carried no weight against the clarity of his decision. The confrontation ended not with a fight, but with a quiet, devastating acknowledgement. The life they had built together was over. Mason walked away, leaving Olivia alone to grapple with the consequences of her choices and the stark reality of a marriage irrevocably broken. In the days that followed, Mason began dismantling the remnants of his marriage. The divorce process was set in motion, and Olivia moved out of the house, retreating to her mother's for support. The home, once filled with shared laughter and dreams, became a stark symbol of betrayal and heartbreak. Olivia sank into a deep depression, overwhelmed by guilt and regret. Her mind replayed Mason's words and actions, each moment a painful reminder of what she had destroyed. While she attempted to find solace in the comfort of family, the weight of her choices pressed heavily on her. She knew there was no going back, no way to undo the damage. For Mason, the path forward was not without its struggles. While he had acted decisively, the pain of losing the life he once believed in lingered. The love he had for Olivia hadn't simply vanished, but it was buried beneath layers of betrayal and mistrust. In an unexpected turn, Mason found solace in the simplicity of companionship, not with people, but with 2 golden retrievers he adopted shortly after the separation. Their unwavering loyalty and unconditional love reminded him of what it felt like to be valued without conditions or deceit. Months later, while walking his dogs in the crisp air of a fall morning, Mason met Rachel, a kind and compassionate woman with a warm smile. Their connection was instant, built on shared understanding and mutual respect. Rachel had her own scars, and together, They found healing in one another's company. Meanwhile, Olivia continued her journey of self-reflection. The loneliness forced her to confront the depth of her mistakes and the selfishness that had led her to betray Mason. Over time, she began to rebuild herself, learning to take responsibility for her actions and seeking forgiveness, not from Mason, but from herself. Mason's life with Rachel flourished, marked by genuine affection, laughter, and trust. For the first time in years, he felt truly loved, not for his sacrifices or efforts, but for who he was at his core. As for Olivia, her path remained solitary, a reflection of the choices she had made. While the wounds she inflicted on Mason would never fully heal, the lessons she learned shaped her into someone stronger and more self-aware. If you found this story compelling, leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to my channel for more stories of resilience and redemption. Thank you for watching.